Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you are all doing great. Today we are going to see one of the famous Java interview question that is nothing but why we need to override hashcode and equals method. Okay, to understand this in a much better way, let's get into the coding part without further delay. I am going to have a class called main class which is going to have a main method. Okay, and we are going to discuss hashcode and equals. These two methods actually part of object class. Okay, and these two are available to all the Java classes in your project. Okay, generally this hash code will return you an integer of an object, okay, on which you are calling, and equals methods generally perform the comparison of two objects and returns true if they are same, otherwise it returns false. Okay, and I hope you know the difference between this hash code and equals. Okay, let's see this how these are going to work in different situations. I'm going to create an integer object. Integer I1 is equals to new integer of 50, and I'm going to have integer I2 is equals to new integer of again 50. Then I'm going to create integer of I3 is equals to new integer again 50. If we see, okay, these two objects are same, right? Because every object is going to hold the value of 50, right? So from data wise they are same, maybe from reference wise they are different, but if we look at the object, so they are same. Okay, now let's see how this is going to work. I'm taking one map for a debugging purpose. Map integer comma string is equals to map1 is equals to new hash map, and I'm going to put all the things into this map. Put I1 comma 1. Let's do a copy paste. Then I2, then I3, 2, 3. Yeah. So let's try to print the size of this hash map to see how many objects it is going to display. Hold, I mean. Can you able to guess what is the output is going to be? Okay, let's run this one. You can see the size is 1. That means it is able to detect that okay, these three objects are equal in nature, equal in content, right? So that the reason this hash map is now going to hold only one object. Okay, so that's the reason it is going to return us the size as 1. Why this behavior is like this? Because every wrapper class, whether it may be integer, character or double, they already overridden this hash code and equals methods. Okay, let's see integer class. So if you see this one, okay, if you search for hash code, you can see this hash code is already overwritten. Okay, and likewise you can see the equals also here. You can see equals also overridden. So this is the reason it is able to distinguish between the distinct objects and duplicate objects. Okay, that's the reason our map size is 1. Okay, now let's see the different case. Okay, let's have our custom object. Let's create a class called student. Okay, and this student is going to hold two non-static members. One is int id, another one is string name, and I'm going to have a parameterized constructor int id comma string name, and this dot id is equal to id, this dot name is equal to name. Okay, yeah, we are good with this structure. Okay, let's create two objects or three objects. Okay, student s1 is equals to new student, and I'm going to give 10, and Shiva just do a copy paste. Student s2 is equals to 10 Shiva. Okay, and let's take a map as usual. This is going to be student comma string. This is map 2 and new hash map. Okay, map 2 dot put s1 comma student 1, map 2 dot put s2 comma student 2. Okay, now let's see the size of this map dot println map 2 dot size. So can you guess the output of this map? Let's run and see. You can see the count is 2. It's strange, right? Is not it? Because the content is same, so our expected answer is 1 only, right? But here it is 2, because this is, it is behaving like this because our student class is not overriding hashcode and equals method, and it is going to take the advantage of existed hashcode and equals method implementation from object. Okay, so this class student class is nothing but what, it's going to extend your object class, right? If you don't give also, still it extends a object. So if you go to this object class where you're able to find this hash code, okay, and you're going to you can able to see the equals also here, equals, okay, here it is. So what this is doing, just it will compare the references of these two objects is, okay, it is not bother about the content. Okay, this is nothing but shallow comparison. Okay, objects equals method is doing shallow comparison. Let me write the statement here. Object dot equals, this is a non-static, okay, equals performing shallow comparison. Okay, it is not performing the deep comparison, not performing the deep comparison. So there is a very small difference between these two. So shallow comparison is nothing but they only focus on the object references, whereas deep comparison is nothing but they focuses on the object data. Okay, it's state simply. So that's a reason we are able to see they both are unique because their references are different, right? They both are not equal. So that's a reason the size is 2. This is not a valid behavior. Okay, when we work on any enterprise grade application, so we are not supposed to see this kind of functional behavior, right? So we need to have a solution for this where it is going to detect the duplicate objects, right? Otherwise it's unnecessarily going to break our logic of the application, and it is going to consume unnecessary memory. A lot of side effects we have. Okay, so for this what we can do, the simple solution is just override hashcode and equals, right? So since you are overriding, you standard it with override. I'm going to override the equals method first. Equals, which is going to take an object as a parameter. Okay, so this equals is going to return true if the content of two objects are same, otherwise it is going to return the false. Okay, so that is what I'm going to implement here. Okay, the first is going to be if this is equal to obj, that means if these two references are pointing to the same object, that means the content is same, right? Just return the true. Okay, what is the next if condition is going to be, if obj is not equal to null. Okay, if the passed object is not equal to null, and obj dot get class is, sorry, if it is null. Okay, and obj dot get class is not equal to this dot get class. Okay, that means return false. Okay, because they both are different. Okay, and the third one is, let's cast it to student student obj. Okay, now you need to what I can say return true or false based on your data. Okay, further just do something like this. If student dot id is equals to this dot id, and and there is a class called objects, and which is going to hold the equals method, and which will take two parameters. Okay, and here one is going to be s dot name, and other one is going to be this dot name. Okay, and this return is going to return true if they both are equal. Okay, both, that's the reason. And otherwise it is going to return with a false. Okay, so with this I can conclude I am done with my equal. So since you are overriding equals method, so you need to override hash code also. Okay, just take this one, public int hash code, which does not take any parameters, and you can write any logic here to return a unique identifier. Okay, so I am writing something like this: return, I need to return integer, that's the reason, id multiplied by, okay, some name dot hash code. Okay, you can write any logic, okay, as you comfortable. So this is going to return me the integer. Now let's see. Okay, let's run same thing. Now if you see the count as 1. Okay, so this is the power of overriding equals and hash code in your custom class. Okay, so otherwise you are end up going the uh, you are going to get lot of side effects. Okay, so let's spend some time on understanding some theoretical points also here. Okay, let me tell you, if two hash codes are equal, then the equals will get executed to check content of both the objects. Okay, so as per this, so if two objects going to hold the two hash codes are same for two objects, I mean to say, then your equals method is going to trigger, otherwise it is not going to trigger. Okay, and for all the wrapper classes, they already overridden hash code and equals methods to avoid the duplicate objects. Okay, like this how we implemented now, so they already implemented. Now there is a contract between this hash code and equals. Okay, I request you to please pay some attention here. Okay, if two hash codes are equal, that does not mean their content also same. Okay, so let's assume here, so object one returned me hash code as some 56456. Okay, and object two also returned me something 456. So that does not mean their content also going to be same. Okay, still their content can be different. Okay, and if two objects are equal as per the equals, then 110% this their hash codes are going to be same. So here if obj1 is equal to obj2, okay, I mean to say in terms of equals, okay, equals, so then it is going to hold the same hash codes for obj1 and obj2. This is these two are the contracts, contract between the hash code and equal. So let's see few principles of equal. So equals method has few principles. If you go to the object class and if you see equals method, okay, you are going to see some principles. So these are like that: reflexive. Okay, so for any non-null reference value x, x dot x equals x should always return the true, right, because they both are same. And next is symmetric. For any non-null reference values xy, if x dot equals y returns you true, then y dot x also returns you true. Okay, the third is transitive. So for any non-null references of x and y and z, if x dot equals y, it returns true, and y dot equals z returns true, then x dot z should also return you true, because identically they three are same, right? So the final thing is for any non-null reference value x, x dot equals of null, it's always going to return false, because you are passing null here, right? X is going to hold some data, so definitely they both are not equal, so it is going to return the false. So this is all about this video, okay, and I hope you learned something new today. Please do subscribe and please do let me know if you have any questions in comment section. I would be very much happy to help you. Thank you. Bye bye.